Well, place to be, nation. We're down to the last two.
The last two of this series. Greg Dieter, Chico Alexander, back with you. Hey, we are finally covering the movie that this podcast is named after.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
That's right, we're going animated, baby. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. What happens when you get a whole bunch of Spider-Men and you put them in a wacky situation where they're all stuck in this one universe and they have to get back to their proper universe, but they're in a pickle.
You could trace the origins of this movie back to, I want to say, 2011, when Brian Michael Bendis made the controversial, at the time, decision. He basically said, are you ready for this?
Okay.
We're going to make Spider-Man black. And then somebody says, wait a minute, are you talking about the symbiote suit? Because we already did that. No. We're going to make Spider-Man a black guy.
And everyone was like, that's weird because there's already one Spider-Man. Now remember, this all came, as we mentioned in the Amazing Spider-Man episode, because this was kind of the result of all the fan casting at the time for Donald Glover to be Peter Parker in the Amazing Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm. That didn't happen. But we did get this real compelling arc that began in Ultimate Fallout number 4, following the death of Peter Parker. And this movie is basically lifting that whole storyline and adapting it for the movies.
Yeah. And as we know, in case you don't know, Miles Morales was originally introduced in the Marvel Ultimate Universe of comics, which is basically Marvel's modernization of their superheroes back in the 2000s and 2010s. And I think, didn't they recently merge the Marvel Ultimates universe in the comics with the main Marvel universe?
I want to say it was around 2015 when the all-new, all-different Marvel multiverse, as a result of the end of Secret Wars, was sort of mainlined some of the characters, Spider-Man, Miles Morales being one of them.
Okay. In that universe, there's two Spider-Men. There's Peter Parker and Miles Morales. And also, I think the Spider-Man Insomniac series of games also explores there being two Spider-Men at the same time. So, yeah, as you'll see in the upcoming PS5 game, Spider-Man 2.
Which, by the way, I'm really looking forward to. Having played through Spider-Man Miles Morales, it is a really good game. If you have a PS5 or PS4, pick it up. Really good stuff.
Okay, so they decided around, let's say, 2014 that they wanted to do a Spider-Man animated movie. Sony co-chairman at the time, Amy Pascal, wanted to rejuvenate the Spider-Man franchise by developing an animated comedy film with Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, who were coming off a series of successful movies with 21 and 22 Jump Street. Let's be honest, on paper, the 21 Jump Street movie should not have worked, but somehow it did.
Nobody understood how it worked, but there you go.
And so, in 2015 at CinemaCon, Sony Pictures chairman Tom Rothman announced that the animated Spider-Man film would be produced by Lord and Miller with a July 2018 release date. And Avi Arad, Matt Talmick, and Pascal would be executive producing the movie, with Lord and Miller writing a treatment for the film. And Rothman said originally that it would coexist with the live-action films, though Sony then stated that it would exist independently of the projects in the live-action Spider-Man universe. And it is set in an alternate universe from those films without the MCU version of Spider-Man. And then, later on, the release date was moved to December 21st, 2018. And Lord had written a script for the film, and the studio chose Bob Persichetti to direct the animated movie, with Peter Ramsey joining as a co-director by January of 2017. And then the next month, Alex Hirsch was named as a story contributor and Christina Steinberg replacing Tomek as a producer in the movie. She previously collaborated with Ramsey on the 2012 DreamWorks movie Rise of the Guardians. And then in April 2017, the release date was pushed up a week from December 21st to December 14th, 2018. Lord and Miller then announced the film's full title in December would be Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and that multiple Spider-Men would appear in the movie. And by then, Rodney Rothman, who had previously co-written the script for Lord and Miller's 22 Jump Street back in 2014, was also added as a co-director in the movie.
And the film itself had an upwards of 140 animators, which at that time was absolutely unheard. It was the largest animation staff for an animated feature ever. Or at least ever used by Sony Pictures Animation.
Yeah, because Sony Pictures Animation, I'm trying to think, they haven't been around that long, have they?
I don't think they have been around that long. Sony Pictures Animation was founded in 2002, and their first movie was, if I'm not mistaken, their first full-length feature. I want to say it was Astro Boy.
Let me look. Oh,
No,
Open Season!
Open Season. And my mistake, Astro Boy wasn't released by Sony Pictures Animation. Astro Boy was released by Summit Entertainment and Imagi Animation Studios, the studios responsible for TMNT.
Oh, the 2007 animated TMNT?
Yes.
Oh, do you know who played Casey Jones in the 2007 animated TMNT?
Who?
America's Ass, Chris Evans.
Nice.
Okay, so we got 3 main Spider-Men, or in this case, 1 Spider-Woman and 2 Spider-Men?
Yeah, we have our first Spider-Man is, of course, Miles Morales, played by Shamik Moore, who is an intelligent teenager of African American and Puerto Rican descent. His father is African American Jefferson Davis, who is a police officer. His mother was Puerto Rican.
Yes, Miles is half Puerto Rican on his mother's side. The character of Rio Morales is played by Lauren Velez. Her notable roles was as Maria Lagerta on Showtime's Dexter. And she was on New York Undercover on Fox.
Yep.
New York Undercover.
And of course, Jefferson Davis was played by Brian Tyree Henry, best known for his role as Paperboy in Atlanta.
And if I'm not, because we're recording this a week before it comes out, he's in Eternals.
Yep.
So, because we're recording this on October 30th of 2021, it should be coming out the following Thursday after we record this.
Yep. It's coming out Thursday night. Yep.
All right.
And then our second Spider-Man is Peter B. Parker. Not to be confused with Peter Parker. It's Peter B. Parker, which is a 38-year-old, close to middle-aged version of the Spider-Man we all know and love, played by Jake Johnson, who is known as Nick in New Girl.
That's right, New Girl, baby.
And he's basically there to sort of train Miles to become this friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
He doesn't do a good job at it.
No, he does not. I guess his placement is basically to be an amalgamation of everything you've ever seen or heard about Spider-Man. We're talking about the animated series, the other animated series, the other animated series.
That CG animated series with NPH as Spider-Man.
I'm surprised we didn't talk about that on this podcast. Anyway, and I guess Phil Miller and Chris Lord, the writing partners behind this film, they wanted him to be like Mr. Miyagi and just set Miles Morales on the correct path to greatness. And like you said, it doesn't really happen that way, does it?
No, it doesn't happen that way. No.
And then the third of the Spider people would be a dimension-displaced counterpart of Gwen Stacy, played by Haley Steinfeld. If you don't know her from her music, which is really good, then you know her from her role in True Grit and her other role in Bumblebee.
And speaking of, since we are, as we already mentioned, recording this on October 30th, next month, she's going to be playing Kate Bishop in the Disney Plus series Hawkeye.
Can't wait.
Yeah. There's like multiple people in this movie that have played Marvel characters in other movies or TV shows, which is insane. But okay, so, and also we have playing the Kingpin in this movie. Now, if you don't know who the Kingpin is, like, come on. Did you even watch Daredevil? I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean, he's the crime lord Wilson Fisk. He is the man behind all of the crime in New York City. And he is played by Liev Schreiber in this particular film, who, again, if you don't know who he is...
Oh, come on. Ray Donovan. And also the voice of HBO Sports.
Yep.
And he played Sabretooth in X-Men Origins Wolverine. Which we don't talk about.
No, you don't. And Wilson Fisk has his hands. Historically, Wilson Fisk has his hands in a lot of things. In this particular film, he has his hands in sort of a scientific biochemical company called Alchemax, whose head scientist and CEO, Olivia Octavius, is played by Catherine Hahn.
Olivia. I don't know what significance that has for the plot, but whatever.
Well, let's just say she has a nickname in this movie.
Why don't you just give it away, Chico?
Nah. And Olivia Octavius, she's voiced by Catherine Hahn. And, again, Catherine Hahn's had a really big year. What? With her being Agatha Harkness.
Yeah. But, you know what? We already talked in another podcast about WandaVision, and, you're going to bring back such horrible PTSD from the finale, and I don't want to live through that again, so... Alright, so we have, basically, our main cast of the movie, so I guess we should go ahead and watch this movie?
I have no problem with this. If you watch this movie, one thing you're going to notice is that it is very comic-like, and that is intentional.
One of my favorite parts is we go with the Columbia Pictures logo. You're seeing everything all messed up, and you're seeing all different versions of the Columbia Pictures logo.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, it's approved by...
check this out. Approved by the Comics Code.
Oh, that is nice. That's nice... Okay, so here we go. We have an opening sequence with a Peter Parker. All right, so let's hear what this Peter Parker has to say as we open the movie. All right, let's do this one last time. My name is Peter Parker. I was bitten by a radioactive spider. And for 10 years, I've been the one, the only Spider-Man. I'm pretty sure you know the rest. I saved a bunch of people. I fell in love, saved the city. And then I saved the city again and again and again and again. Ooh, and I did this. Get on up. Oh, and grab your... We don't really talk about this.
No, we don't.
No, we don't.
Look, I'm a comic book. I'm a cereal.
Did a Christmas
album.
With an excellent theme song. Oh, and he has a popsicle.
So popsicles.
But after everything, he still loves being Spider-Man. I mean, who wouldn't? So no matter how many hits I take, I always find a way to come back. Because the only thing standing between this city and oblivion is me. There's only one Spider-Man, and you're looking at him. Wink. And by the way, this version of Spider-Man, you know who he's voiced by, Chico?
Robert Pine's kid.
How'd you know, Chico?
It's my job to know things. That's what I do. I drink Coke and I know things.
So then we cut to Post Malone and Swallee's Sunflower playing. We see Miles Morales. He's doing his drawings and stuff. He's singing along to the song as his mom is calling him because it's time for school, baby.
And like every other Spider-Man, where does Miles go to school?
He goes to school at a fancy prep school.
Oh.
I think he wins a lottery to go to a prep school. I think in the comics it's established like he's the last person in this lottery in the city to win at a spot at the prep school.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And here's all your brownstones here. You got your bay windows here. It's all very Barrio-esque.
Oh, by the way, as Miles is walking around, someone asked Miles, "Hey, did you feel that earthquake last night?" That's important.
This is relevant.
That is relevant. And all the kids are asking Miles, "Hey, we all miss you. What's going on in that new school of yours?" And everything. And he's put around stickers all over different spots in the city of his artwork. And then he trips. Guess what car is in front of him as he trips?
A police car.
And
it's not just any police car. It's his daddy.
It's his dad.
His dad is NYPD Blue, guys.
No. In this universe, it's PDNY Blue.
Oh, my mistake.
It's the police department of New York in this universe. I noticed all the details in this movie. So now they're driving around, and there's a clip about Spider-Man, and Jefferson's like, I mean, this guy swings up in the city once a day, zip, zap, zap, in his little mask, and he answers to no one. And I was like,
well,
yeah.
With great ability comes great accountability.
Oh, and then I was like, that's not how the saying goes.
I do like his cereal, though. I'll give him that.
I didn't know Jefferson loved cereal. But, okay. Okay, so he arrives at the Brooklyn Visions Academy.
Which is a really nice-looking place.
Yeah. But he just wants to go back to his old school. He thinks the new school is elitist. He wants to be in a normal school among the people. And Jefferson's like, these are your people. And Miles is like, I'm only here because I won the lottery. And Jefferson's like, well, you passed the entry test, just like everyone. You'd be stupid to ruin your chance here. Do you want to end up like your Uncle Aaron? But Miles is like, oh, he's a good guy. No, Miles, no.
No, Uncle Aaron, Uncle Aaron's, he's a man, he's a bad man.
But right as Miles is about to get into the school, Jefferson flashes his siren and says, you gotta say I love you back, and I want to hear it in front of everybody outside of the school.
Dad, I love you.
That's a copy. Oh, and
tie your shoes, please. And congratulations, you are now that guy.
And wow, this school looks amazing.
Sure does. And the teachers, well,
they're just putting all this pressure on him. It's like, do this, do that.
So I gotta do this, I gotta do that. I got all these books.
Okay, so now Miles arrives. And he's in this room as all the kids in the class are watching a video with Olivia Octavius on the screen. And the teacher says, oh, you're late again, Miles.
Hindsight said time was relative. Maybe I'm not late. Maybe you guys are early.
And then we see a girl just laughing at his joke in the class.
Let's be honest, that doesn't happen.
No. So Miles sits next to this girl as Olivia Octavius is giving her speech about the work going on at Alchemex. And the girl says to Miles that the joke wasn't funny.
That's why I laughed.
But it was smart. And then Miles is like, I don't think I've ever seen you before.
And but by the way, the film is basically touching up on subjects like interdimensionality. How every choice we make creates another rip in time, let's say.
Yes. But one of the things that Olivia Octavia says is about worlds of parallel universes. She mentions that it could cause a what if to infinity.
Two Marvel references.
A what if
to infinity. A what if to infinity.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yeah. So Miles got a 0 on a test because he's trying to intentionally get kicked out. But his teacher's like, no, I'm not going to let you do that because you know what the right answers are. And I'm not going to let you quit. Oh, and by the way, Miles' teacher is voiced by Natalie Morales, who we'll cover on the Mothership podcast because she was on the show Abby's. So Miles' teacher is assigning him a personal essay. Not about physics, but about himself. And about the kind of person that he should be.
Kind of person he wants to be.
So, Miles decides, you know what? Forget this paper. I'm going to go see my Uncle Aaron as Notorious B.I.G. is playing.
Where is his Uncle Aaron anyway?
I think he's in Brooklyn, right? Somewhere in Brooklyn?
Somewhere else in Brooklyn. Because remember, Miles lives in Brooklyn.
Oh, look, Miles is outside the window of the apartment, like, with his face to the window.
And now he's punching on a punching bag because he needs to let out some aggression. And what is that on his screen?
Oh, you know what's on the screen? And I found this out in the trivia. It's Community.
That's Community?
And do you know why?
Because they're both produced by Sony?
They're both produced by Sony, and Donald Glover was in it.
Ah, there you go.
There's the reference to Donald Glover. Because Donald Glover also voiced Miles Morales in Ultimate Spider-Man on Disney XD.
Yep.
So Aaron's wants to know, hey, what's going on in school and everything? And he's like, oh, there's this new girl and she's kind of into me. Oh, you know how it is. He's like, what's her name? And Miles is like,
She's into you and you don't know what her name is.
Yeah.
Real smooth.
He's like, you go up to that girl tomorrow and be like, hey. Oh, and there's a text from Dad. Done with that homework? Nope. Oh, wait. Uncle Aaron sees his art. And he's like, oh, I got an idea, baby.
Why are they going to go into an abandoned subway station at night in Brooklyn?
I don't know. Probably to make some cool graffiti artwork, I guess. Which is what they're doing. But while that's going on, there's a spider from Alchemex. And he's glitching out, this spider. But look at this. This is like some fancy artwork right here. And we see what Miles did right here. Look at that. No expectations.
I see exactly what you're doing there.
Oh, Aaron and Jefferson, they used to do this kind of art back in the day.
Stop lying.
And then he took on the cop thing, and well, Uncle Aaron's like, figures he's a good guy, but you know what I'm saying. And then, meanwhile, the spider's climbing up on the back of Miles' hoodie. And then Aaron's cell phone.
Aaron's gotta go, all of a sudden.
Yeah, all of a sudden, he just bounces. It's like, I gotta go. And so Miles is gonna leave too, and then all of a sudden, he takes a look at the art. He wants to take a picture of it on his phone, and then here comes the spider. He's like, huh? And then, bite!
Chomp!
And then we see all this animation of what's happening to the cells in Miles' body. And then we cut back to him, and he's like, Whatever. Kills the spider, and it's dead.
Spider's dead. Here's the thing, though. Damage is already done.
Yup. So we're seeing Miles sleep while his roommate's working on his computer or whatever. He's reading, like, his comic books. Yeah, apparently, I guess in this movie we established that Spider-Man comics exist in this universe.
Spider-Man comics exist in this universe? Okay.
Okay. Is this like how in Logan, how the X-Men comics existed in the universe?
Yes.
But how would they know?
That's just it. They wouldn't know.
How would they know about the Spider-Man comics of
They
Spider-Man?
would just make up this stuff.
They just make up a story. It wouldn't be about Spider-Man himself.
It would be about Spider-Man. It's not necessarily about the Spider-Man, but it's about a Spider-Man.
Okay, I guess. That makes sense. Everything going fast and fast. And then Miles is putting on his pants. He's like, oh, that's weird. My pants shrank. And then...
you know what? No, I'll tell you what's weird. Mr. Yellow Box over there.
Why is there a yellow box over there?
Why is there a yellow box over there?
And the best part is, I should have kept that to himself. It's like he's looking at the box.
But where is the box coming from?
Where's
the box? Wasn't there 15 minutes ago.
No.
Of course, 15 minutes ago, he wasn't bitten by a mutated arachnid from another dimension of some sort.
And now Miles is like, wait, why am I hearing the voice in my head so loud? And then he bumps into the girl he met before. And then she's like, are you okay? And then Miles is like, why am I so sweaty?
It's a puberty thing. I don't know why I said that. I'm not going through puberty. I did. I'm done.
I'm a man. I am a man!
I'll let you believe that.
So Miles asks the girl, all right, so you're new here. Okay, we have that in common. So, I'm Miles. And then she's like, I'm Gwanda? Gwanda? What kind of a name is Gwanda? Oh, she's African. No, she's South African. Oh, no accent because she was raised here. Huh?
Her shoulder touch now before she walks away.
Okay, he's got one chance. Okay, Miles, go ahead. And it's like, why am I doing this in slow motion? And then, hey.
That worked.
That worked.
And by that, I mean, it did not work.
Did not work at all.
But all of a sudden, he's basically stuck with her.
Literally stuck with her.
And this is getting awkward.
And it ends with his hand stuck with her hair, with the handprint on Gwanda's hair. Oops!
Yikes.
Well, no one saw.
Except everyone saw it.
Everyone
saw!
It says in the yellow box, everyone knows. They're talking about him. He knows. She knows. They know. Wow, she's super tall. Why is he smiling? Am I the weird guy? Everyone's like, that guy's such a weirdo. It's like, how does it stop? How can they all hear me? Why is everything so loud? And the guard's like, I know you snuck out last night, Morales. And he's like,
play dumb.
Oh, who's Morales? Not
that dumb.
Oh, and then there's a chase going on. He goes into a room thinking, okay, that guy's never going to catch me here. Nope. It's his office.
Oh, God.
It's totally going to catch him
Are
here.
you bored this dumb?
And oh, his hand's stuck on the door.
Again.
Oh, no. Oh, now his shirt's off. He's bumping around. Oh, and the best part is...
Very Spidey Christmas.
Oh, yeah, because
he has that. Apparently, he has a Mac. And he also has...
the Spider-Man Christmas album. He has the Spider-Man Christmas album on his computer.
Spider bells, goblin smells.
Why is this happening?
Hey, that's Beach Bubble. What's that deal?
I don't know.
And now Miles is basically sticking to, well, everything. Including the side of the building.
The side of the building, but the best part is the speech bubble is backwards, too, which is amazing. And oh, his hands, there's some pigeons flying by. and his hands are stuck on the pigeon stew, and he's flying. He's crashing the window, and they're just like...
And he still does not have his shirt on.
He still doesn't have his shirt on. And then Gwanda notices...
Gwanda. Yeah.
Notices Miles is like walking up. He's like, huh? So he gets back into his room, and then all of a sudden, you know what?
True life tales of the Spider-Man.
True live tales of Spider-Man. Why is this happening? Please stop sticking. This is actually in the comic book.
Please keep sticking.
And then he's like, how can there be two Spider-Men? They can't be two Spider-Men. Can there? And then you see a comic...
Spider-Man?
Yeah, there's a comic book that lands on the table with the Spider-Man comic we saw in the intro of the movie that says, The Two Spider-Men. And it's Miles looking at a reflection out of himself.
This is a reenactment of the Spider-Man 3 box art.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that was a Spider-Man 3 reference. Yeah, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Take a look at it.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay. That makes sense. Oh, and I didn't even mention this, but earlier in the movie, when we were introduced to the Peter Parker of Miles' universe, there was also reference because when they had the "With great power comes great responsibility" clip, that was of Cliff Robertson from the first Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie.
There you go.
Yeah, they actually used that clip of him in the intro.
Very nice.
Okay. So, he's trying to find Uncle Aaron, but he just goes straight to voicemail. He's like, oh, what's going on? It's a normal spider. I'm a normal kid. Oh! He did a flip, and everyone's like, yeah!
I'll give it a 10. Later that night, Miles searches for answers. And he calls his dad, because of course he does.
But then it's like, oh no, that's not a good idea.
No, it is not.
So he just decides to go back and try to find the spider. But the spider's already dead. What does Miles think he's going to do? Like, undo what happened?
No, that's not how this works.
That's not how this works, Miles. There's the dead spider. It's like, it's a normal spider. Like, boring, normal.
Boring how normal this spider is.
And then, oh, it's glitching out. Then he hears some things.
Not normal. Not normal. Not normal.
Sees a sign for Alchemex. Some radiation. Everything's all, like, weirdly glitched out.
Everything's all twisted and stuff. And he doesn't want to be a hero, and he's getting glimpses of his future, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Hearing, you're like me. Miles, look out. I don't want to be a hero. Miles! And then there's a speech bubble. Look out!
Hey, look. It's Spider-Man. How did that happen?
And then Miles is like, I think I'm going to bounce. But nope. He's thrust in this...
bouncing today.
No, he's thrust into this situation.
Yeah, he's thrust into a situation. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I think we found our answers.
Like, what is this place?
That looks like a particle accelerator if ever I've seen one. Meanwhile, Miles is rescued by Spider-Man.
Did you know your shoes are untied? Well, that's a onesie so you don't have to worry about it. And then...
They both feel it.
And then he's like, I thought I was the only one. And then Miles says he doesn't want to be. And then Spider-Man's like, I don't think you have a choice, kiddo. So he's got a lot running through his head. So Spider-Man's like, you know what? I'm going to help you. And if you stick around, I could show you the ropes. And then Miles is like, okay. And then he's like, okay. Then Spider-Man's like, I need to destroy this big machine real quick before the space-time continuum collapses. So yeah, just stay here. So he's trying to fix the collider thing. And then all of a sudden, his spider sense comes in, and then...
Again with the spider sense.
There's this purple monster thing! And they're fighting back and forth. And then Miles is like, I think I should go up there and help him. Who am I kidding? I shouldn't do that. And then we hear the humming, and then, oh, it's the Kingpin.
Oh, no. And he looks every bit like the Kingpin, if you think about it.
Oh, yeah.
Hunched over back. He doesn't skip back day. Let's just say that.
He says, it's a hell of a freaking light show. You're going to love this. Oh, no. multiple dimensions are opening.
Kingpin looks very rectangular, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, 3, 4, and 5 separate dimensions are opening. They warn Kingpin, okay, we should stop this. It's unstable. Okay, everything in the city's like all messing
Glitching
up.
out.
All glitching out. Something falls onto the Green Goblin. I'm guessing he's dead. Oh, no, he's not dead. And then, oh, warning. We hear things like, Wilson, where are we? Wilson. Boo. And then all of a sudden the power comes back on. And, oh, Spider-Man, he's on the ground after everything. All the debris has fallen after the collider has just stopped. Can you get up? And Spider-Man's like, yeah, I always get up. But he's like, the coughing is probably not a good sign. And then he gives him the key, and he says, this is the only way to stop the collider. Don't tell anyone who you are. No one can know, because he's got everyone in his pocket. If he turns the machine on again, everything you know will disappear. Your family and everyone. Everyone. And he asks, promise me you'll do this. Okay. He promises. And then, oh, there's the Kingpin. And, oh no.
This is bad. Oh no.
Yeah, he kills Spider-Man. But they notice something. Kingpin and this purple guy. Like, what was that? And Miles has to run away. And, oh, he drops the little key thing, but yeah, he gets it back. But, oh, he's on the top of the subway car. He's stuck onto the roof thing. And this purple guy, he's got his claws out. Stop sticking! They're running all the way into this subway. And purple guy's got a motorcycle.
Yep.
And Miles is just like, huh, huh, huh. And then he goes back home. And then Jefferson goes into Miles' room and asks, wait, Miles, why aren't you at school? And then it's like, can I sleep here tonight? And then Miles asks his mom, did we ever think about moving out of Brooklyn? And then his mother says that the family doesn't
run from things.
And then all of a sudden on the news, a special report. Spider-Man is dead. What? He died after injuries related to another powerful earthquake in Brooklyn. Hey, wait a minute. Is that related to that earthquake we heard about in the beginning of the movie?
Possibly.
Oh, and multiple sources are confirming that it was Peter Parker, a 26-year-old part-time photographer who was Spider-Man for at least a decade.
And now he's dead.
Now he's dead. And everyone in the city's like, oh my god. They're all finding out on their push notifications. Everyone finds out at the same time. Like,
he is survived by his wife, Mary Jane, and his Aunt May Parker.
Oh, and look at that. Here's like a CNN-type chyron right here. New York's hero, Spider-Man, found dead at 26. But look at the sale on this TV, Chico. $699.
Tell me before I change my mind!
Oh, where's Crazy Gideon in this universe when we need him?
We do need him.
Hey, look, apparently in this universe, Spider-Man costumes exist.
And they're readily available.
Readily available. So he buys the Spider-Man costume. And Chico, you're not going to believe who's running the counter at this
Father! It's Stan's Collectibles. There's a big hint.
And then the man says, I'm going to miss him. And then he says, we were friends, you know. And then Miles asks, can I return it if it doesn't fit? It always fits. Eventually. And then he sees a sign that says, no return.
No returns or refunds.
Ever. I love
Not
that.
creepy.
Not creepy at all. But I love that they kind of reference the Amazing Spider-Man 2 video game of all things. Because remember, Stanley had the collectible shop in the Amazing Spider-Man 2 game.
Yes, I remember.
Oh my my god. Talk about a deep cut.
So yeah, that thing's gonna fit. It has to fit. Because you can't return it.
So, okay, there's this big memorial going on.
Really big memorial.
Everyone's wearing their Spider-Man costumes as Mary Jane Watson is delivering the eulogy for her husband. Oh, and by the way, Mary Jane Parker in this movie is voiced by Zoe Kravitz.
Nice.
Yeah, who was in, of course, another Marvel-related movie in X-Men First Class, but in early 2022, she's going to be Catwoman in The Batman.
With Robert Pattinson as the Batman.
The Batman.
Which makes sense because he played a vampire.
Miles is like, oh, they're all counting on me. And then one guy says, it's a metaphor, I think. Because, yeah, Mary Jane's saying, in our own way, we're all Spider-Men, and we're all counting on you. Yeah. Then Miles is looking at all the Spider-Man comics, trying to find an answer. Then he's like, oh, there's a building. Okay. I'll have to jump off it. So he's nearing the ledge of the building thinking, okay, I'm going to have to jump here. And then he's like, no, I don't want to jump. No. Then he's on the ground. He's back on the building. He's like, okay, I'm going to have to jump. Miles like, I'm going to jump. And he trips on his shoelace. And, bounces off a flagpole, off some telephone wires.
Off a
Crash.
car. And, the USB drive that Spidey gave you.
It's broken.
Wonderful.
By the way, the numbers 4 and 2 that dropped next to him, do you know the significance of that?
It's the ultimate answer to the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything. It is also the number of Jackie Robinson breaking the color barrier in baseball.
Yes, that's intentional. Because as we also know, the Spider had the number 42. There's going
to be a lot of 42s in this film.
There's going to be a lot of references to the number 42 in this movie.
But all of that goes back to Jackie Robinson.
Sort of. Hey, wait a minute. I think we've been here before, Chico. We're at the cemetery.
Yep, we are at the cemetery.
And if you listen to our last episode, you'll notice that this was the near post-credit scene in Venom. So, okay, we've kind of talked about this before. Yeah, he's at the grave of Peter Parker, Miles. And then someone walks behind Miles, and it's like, electrocution, web. Miles,
Sling.
What? Huh? Who are you? All right, people, let's do this one last time. My name is Peter B. Parker. I was bitten by a radioactive spider, and for the last 22 years, I thought I was the one and only Spider-Man. You see, I saved the city, fell in love, I got married, saved the city some more, maybe too much. My marriage got dicey, made some dicey money choices. Don't invest in a spider-themed restaurant. Then like 15 years passed, blah, 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 super boring. I broke my back, I drone through my face, and I buried Aunt May. My wife and I split up, but I handled it like a champion. Chico. No, he did not handle it like a champion.
He did not handle it like a champion.
No. But I gotta say, how did that Spidey-themed restaurant fail?
I don't know. Maybe failure of upkeep. I'm watching the Bar Rescue channel on Pluto like every day, and there's like one of a million different ways that something fails. And it all goes back to a failing manager. You hear that? Every failing enterprise has a failing manager, and every failing manager has an excuse. So what's yours, Pete?
All right, so he has some time to reflect on himself. Talks about seahorses and how they mate for life. Talks about how Mary Jane wanted kids and that scared him. And then going back, he's in his apartment doing push-ups, getting strong. No, he's just eating pizza.
Then all of a sudden, he was sucked to a black hole.
And then he enters in to another dimension after getting flung like a pinball. And then he sees on the television screens that Spider-Man is dead and that he was also blonde. And that he was kind of perfect.
It was like looking at a mirror.
So he has the feeling what brought him here was the thing that got him killed. So, do we want to know what happens next? Yeah. So, we've already talked about this before, but okay, Miles and Peter B. Parker are being flung around the city by accident, trying to escape the PDNY. It's like, how can we describe this, Chico? Miles is dragging Peter B. Parker around.
He's dragging Peter B. Parker around, and they're both tethered to an L train, while the PDNY are hot on their trail.
But okay, here's the best part right here. So they crash into a snowman, and Peter B. Parker's head is now onto the snowman. And the best part is right here. There's a slow-mo of them on the window. And look at the snowman, its head. It's like slowly like happy and then sad face.
Sad face.
Well, this kid is like, what the hell am I looking at?
It's New York.
And then, oh, look at this image right here.
Now it just looks all sorts of wrong.
Oh.
Imagine Marshmallow on his worst day.
And then both of them crash onto the sidewalk while everyone's walking past.
All right, thanks, New York.
And then Peter is waking up.
He's at Miles's Uncle Aaron's, tied to a punching bag.
And he's asking, why do you look like Peter Parker? That's because he is Peter Parker. But why is his hair different?
And why isn't he dead? And why is he older? And why is he fat?
He's not fat. Then he's like, most superheroes don't wear your own merch. Okay, so he tells about lesson number 1. Don't watch the mouth, watch the hands. And then he unties himself. And then he does a kick onto the punching bag.
That hurt.
Yeah. He's like, all right, I'm getting out of here. And then he's like, yeah, this will all make you a better Spider-Man, trust me. And then he glitches out like, "Urgh," and just crashes onto the fire escape. Then he thinks, okay, my atoms are being jammed from being in the wrong dimension. And he's like, I don't want to be a coach because I got a lot going on here. And then Miles is about to say the line, with great power comes great. And then Peter's like, don't you dare finish that sentence, okay? Don't. No. No.
No, you don't get to finish that sentence.
No. And then he's saying, Kingpin's got a super collider. And then Peter's like, wait, what'd you say? Oh, yeah, he's got a super collider. He's trying to kill me. And you know what I love?
He's just walking up the building like it's nothing.
He's walking up the building like it's nothing. And he's like, where is this super collider? Oh, it's at Fisk Town. He's like, okay, see ya. But Miles is like, I'm supposed to destroy it or everyone's going to die. Yeah, that's what they always say. And then he's like, oh, wow, you have a goober. Which is the flash drive thingy that he got from the other Peter.
Yeah, it's destroyed, by the way.
But Miles is like, I need to destroy the collider.
I need to go home.
And then Peter just takes it from him. He's like, okay, the portal brought me here. So then he notices it's broken. He's like, did you break this? He's like, no, it broke. Sure. Well, I have to re-steal what your guy stole from Alchemix. And he figures, okay, I gotta make another one of these. Oh no, he's making Peter feel guilty. Oh. Okay, no, don't. Don't do that. Okay, come on. We don't have a second to lose. So, what does Peter do immediately after he lets Miles into the plan? They stop at a restaurant.
Because that's what you do. You stop at a restaurant, have a burger, and a shake and some fries.
And, can you believe this? In Peter B. Parker's universe, the restaurant they're in closed down 6 years ago, and he doesn't know why.
Really? No clue?
No clue why it closed down. He's like, okay, you got money, right? I don't have any money right now. Because obviously he's in another dimension, so. And he just wants to eat all Miles' food because, as we all know, Peter B. Parker in his universe, he's fat.
He's fat!
Peter B. Parker! He fat!
Okay, so they find where Alchemix Labs is, and it's in Hudson
Valley, New York.
Oh, home of the Hudson Valley Renegades. Okay, so they're
That's
all...
like a bus ride, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, it definitely is. So, okay, they're getting ready. They got their costumes on, and Miles has got a cape. And then...
no cape.
No cape. Spider-Man doesn't wear a cape. It's disrespectful. So they're like, how do we trace the other Peter's steps? So the other Peter's like, okay, what would I do if I were me? Okay, I got it. He'll infiltrate the lab, find the head scientist's computer. Oh yeah, the lady with the bike I saw is the head scientist. I saw her in this documentary. So, okay. Step 3, he re-examines his personal biases, hacks the computer. It's not technically hacking.
Step 4, I hack the computer. It's not technically... Not now, I just lost my train of thought.
So he downloads the stuff onto the goober, and then gets a bagel from the cafeteria and runs, and then, bam. Of course the last step's going to involve him getting food.
And because it's New York, it's a bagel. Miles just saw something important.
Oh yeah, this is the Kingpin. What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? He's secretly climbing up Miles into the air vents, trying to whisper to Peter, Peter! And then, oh, there he is in the air vent too. He's trying to tell him, the Kingpin is here. I can't sit and let Spider-Man die again. I can't do this again. Okay, most people I meet in the workplace try to kill Peter B. Parker, but it's like, okay, you're a nice change of pace.
So, Dr. Olivia Octavius, is trying to explain to Wilson Fisk about all the random glitches that have been happening all over the city. And there could be a black hole under Brooklyn.
He's telling, okay, watch this. He's going to say, you got 24 hours. And what does Kingpin say? You got 24 hours.
So, Spidey goes all clackety-clackety, gets the password, gets the real important stuff. And Miles can't get unstuck from the
thing. While Kingpin and Dr. Octavius are talking. He was like, oh God, why? And then all of a sudden, hey, he's humming along to the song Sunflower, and then, oh, he relaxes. And it's like, oh, falls onto a table. Noise. And then, oh, something happened. And then all of a sudden, wait a minute. He's turned invisible, Miles.
What?
What?
That's new.
That's new. Okay, Miles is at the computer trying to get the password while, Dr. Octavius is looking at Peter like, oh, I thought you were dead. Oh.
So she spends like the next 10 minutes or so probing and prodding and examining him and doing all sorts of things.
And then, oh, what did you say your name was? Dr. Olivia Octavius. And then, oh, yeah.
Uh-oh.
And then Peter's like, I assume your friends call you Doc Ock.
My enemies call me Doc Ock. My friends actually call me Liv.
And then, Invisible Miles trying to run away with the computer thing. And then,
oh, this is fine. Everything's fine. Nope.
Gotta go. Oh, he bumps into somebody, and then all of a sudden, what?
Uh-oh.
It's Gwanda?
No, it's Wanda. The G is silent.
Okay. They're in the middle of this room. It's like, okay, not gonna turn invisible. And then he's gonna get the bagel. They're gonna casually walk out. Oh, wait. Like, there's not gonna notice that there's two Spider-Men walking out of the room.
And everybody is armed with a laser gun. Or some sort of gun.
Why are they armed with laser guns?
You mean you're not armed with a laser gun?
No!
Yeah, the only thing Miles could do is run. He doesn't have the web like Peter does, which is kind of bad if you think about it.
Oh, like now he's figuring out how to do the web thing. Double tap, flip, flop, thwip, and release. Thwip,
whip, release. Thwip, release. Thwip, release.
Oh, they're a team. Peter is the teacher who can still do it, and Miles is the student who can do it, just not as good. Oh, Peter hits a tree as he glitches out.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's not good.
They're trying to get that thing with the briefcase. Doc Ock gets it, and then, oh, wait a minute.
It's another one?
Another one?
Another one.
Another one.
Another one.
Another one.
Another one.
And so this spider person takes off the mask and then, it's Wanda! And then we're informed, oh, it's Gwen actually.
Oh, I know her. Very cool.
She's from another dimension. Another dimension.
Another dimension. Okay.
All right, people. Let's start the beginning one last time. My name is Gwen Stacy. I was bitten by a radioactive spider. And for the last 2 years, she has been the one and only Spider-Woman. And you guys know the rest. She joined a band. She saved her dad. She couldn't save her best friend. Which, by the way, is Peter Parker. And now she has to save everyone else, but she doesn't have friends anymore. And then one day, a weird thing happened. Really weird. She arrives in New York, but it's not her New York. No, it's not her New York. Because apparently in this New York, there's an advertisement for a Seth Rogen movie called, and I kid you not, hold on a second, called Hold Your Horses, where he's a jockey. I guess this is this universe's version of Bobcat Goldthwait and Tot the Trot.
Probably. Maybe it's the gritty reboot.
The gritty reboot. I wonder who's voicing the horse, though. Maybe it's Mike Francesa who's voicing the horse. All right, Seth Rogen. All right, come on. You got to climb on my back. All right, let's win this race, shall we? But okay. She sees Spider-Man on the screen and it's like, huh? Okay, so Gwen, after seeing Spider-Man on the big screen in New York City in Times Square, figures with her spider sense to go to Vision's Academy, where she met Miles. She wasn't sure why, but when she saw Miles, she figured this all out. And then Miles is like, oh, I like your haircut. No. Gwen says, no, you don't get to comment on the haircut. Okay, so Miles is like, okay, there's 2 other spider people. How many more of these spider people are there? And Peter's like, you can save it for Comic-Con. Miles like, what's Comic-Con? Whoa! And then
Still with the lasers.
Still with the lasers. And then you see Kingpin just clicking that pen. And then we get the backstory of what's happened to Kingpin. He was fighting Spider-Man one day and was going to kill him. And then his wife and son see him try to kill Spider-Man. They leave, and they run out. They're rushing to get out from the Kingpin. And then, oh, car accident. They're dead. And now he's trying to find a way to bring his wife and son back from another dimension. But here's what I don't understand, Chico. If Kingpin is trying to take his wife and son from another dimension back into his universe, wouldn't that Kingpin be without a wife and a son?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
That doesn't make any sense. By the way, Lake Bell voices Vanessa Fisk.
That's right, Lake Bell, who, by the way, also voiced Black Widow on What If recently. So, okay, we're back onto the bus here. Gwen and Miles are on the bus as Peter's sleeping. And Miles is making up a thing like, okay, Gwen is looking at the broken goober thing. He broke this? It's like, oh yeah, but he's really embarrassed about it, so just keep it between us, okay? Okay. Yeah, sure, Miles. So Gwen knows how to make a new one, but they won't let it break. So.
Yeah, how is that supposed to work?
So I guess Gwen's told Miles the story about her Peter Parker. And Miles is like, I'm very sorry about him. Gwen's like, well, it's very hard, but she's kind of happy that knowing that she's not the only spider person. Oh, guess what? Peter, Miles, and Gwen, guess where they go? They go to Aunt May's house. And best part is, look at the top left. There's a bubble that says, somewhere in Queens.
And here's the thing. Aunt May is played by Lily Tomlin.
That's right. So Aunt May knows that this is not her Peter, but she knows it's a Peter. And she notices, wow, you're older and thicker. And are those sweatpants?
Those are sweatpants.
So Miles explains that he was there when Peter died and that, but Aunt May figures, wait, you must be from another dimension. Where are you from? And he's like, oh, Brooklyn. And then he's like, hey, did Peter have a place where we could make another one of these? And Aunt May realizes, oh, it's a goober. Okay, follow me. And then they go to this shed. And Peter's like, oh, yeah, I got one of these too. I got an old shed too where I keep my stuff. But oh, this is not
city stuff.
No, it's not any shed. Oh, apparently. Oh my God, there's a spider lair. He made a spider cave, Peter.
Full of all sorts of spider stuff.
Oh, look. Hey, look, there's like a wall full of all Spider-Man suits right here. Oh my God.
Interestingly enough, there's no Iron Spider suit.
Gee, I wonder why. But okay.
Disney. Anyway.
But okay, Peter B. Parker sees a photo of Mary Jane. And he looks at it like, oh, yeah. Meanwhile, Miles looks at one of the suits on the wall. And he notices, hey, Peter, look. I think this is a cape. There's a spider suit with a cape. Look at that.
It's a spider suit. Hey, isn't that Doctor Strange's cape?
It might be Doctor Strange's cape for all we know. Look at the suit next to it. There's this black and green spider suit. I think that's also in the PS4 game, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, hold up. There's the Peter Parker suit. Here's the normal suit we all know and love. Peter knew how dangerous his job was, but okay. He knew the one guy that could stop this all was Spider-Man. And look, we got these pictures on this wall with all the rogues gallery of villains right here.
Is that Norman Osborn?
I think that is. Yeah, right next to Kingpin. I think that one right there, next to it, the almost purplish head. I think that's definitely Norman.
Oh, yeah.
I think that purple guy we saw is right on the top also, right above Wilson right here. Miles figures, okay, we're going to be outnumbered. But Aunt May's like, don't be so sure. You might need these. And she gives him name tags and markers like, what? And then all of a sudden, we see on the wall, oh, wait, there's more?
There's more.
We have a mysterious guy that says, hey, fellas. And then all of a sudden, there's some wind. Like, where's the wind coming from? They're in a basement. And then the guy explains, wherever I go, the wind follows. And the wind smells like rain. Wait a minute. There's also a girl and a robot. What? What? A robot. This couldn't get any weirder, Chico. How could this top a girl and a robot? And a mysterious man with wind.
A pig?
Well, guess what? Yes, there's a pig! He just washed his hands, and that's why they're wet. And it's
no other reason.
Oh, and they all realize, oh, you're like me. They all say it at the same time. Okay, let's explain who these three other Spider people are.
Please, somebody explain to me. Will somebody explain to me what in Stan Lee is going on here?
Okay, so first we got the mysterious man with the wind is Spider-Man Noir, a Spider-Man from the 1930s who is voiced by Nicolas Cage.
Nice.
Hey, another person who was in a previous movie related to a Marvel character. The Ghost Rider movies, but we don't talk about the Ghost Rider movies.
Nope.
This is much better for Nicolas Cage. And then we have Penny Parker. Penny Parker is a little girl from a New York in the future who has a symbiotic link to a robot that has a spider inside of it, I think?
Co-pilot's a biomechanical suit with a radioactive spider that she shares a telepathic link with.
Okay. But then we get to the final character. Spider-Ham.
Peter Porker.
Peter Porker. And can we explain the origin story for Peter Porker? Because this is the most ridiculous origin story I ever heard in my life.
Okay, so Peter Porker was once a spider who was bitten by a radioactive pig.
But not just any radioactive pig. The radioactive pig was Aunt May, who then developed, amnesia and thought that Peter Porker was her nephew. I don't understand it. But okay.
You know what? Let's let these guys explain it.
Okay. I was bitten by a radioactive pig. I was bitten by a radioactive pig. In Noir's universe, it's 1933, and he's a private eye. He likes to drink egg creams and fight Nazis a lot. Penny Parker is from New York in the year 3145 and has a psychic link with a spider who is inside her father's robot, and they're best friends forever. And then Spider-Man Noir lets matches burn through his fingertips to feel anything. Oh. And then Peter Porker's like, he's a photographer for the Daily Beagle. When he's not poaching around, he's walking like a dog, trying to sniff out the latest story. He walks, he dances, does it with bits. Okay, enough. So how'd they get here? Well, long story. Yeah, we know how it happened. Boom!
Black hole in the middle of Brooklyn.
And they realize, oh, yeah, they're all in New York City. They figure it out. And now they're just trying to get home.
The only way to get home is with that collider gizmo. All of the Spider-Men, except for Miles, are undergoing cellular decay because they are not in their home dimensions. And if they don't get home, we're going to have 5 dead Spider-Men.
And then Spider-Man Noir's like, who are you again? And Peter's trying to explain, yeah, this is Miles. This is the person that has to save the multiverse. Look, he can turn invisible. Watch this. Do it. He's like, oh, I can't do it. He can't do it on command. He can't do it on command, but it is cool. And he's trying to do the zappy thing, but he can't do it on command either. Oh, that's not good. And what else can you do? Oh, just those 2 things. Just those 2 things. Gwen's trying.
Like, he's got potential.
Look at Spider-Man Noir. He's just talking like in 1930s speak.
Hard boys, biscuit boxers. And Miles is like, I haven't fought anyone.
And they were asking him all these ridiculous questions. And it's like, oh, he can't answer these questions. They're all like, get up, Miles. Get up, get up, get up, get up.
He's not getting up, is he?
No.
And now he's invisible.
He's invisible. Oh, he gets a voicemail from his dad. Like, where are you, Miles? Nobody knows what's going on. Come on. Now, oh, man, Jefferson, he's so desperate. He has to call the one person that he never thought he'd call.
Aaron.
Oh, yeah. Oh. It's like, we haven't heard from him. And then he writes a note, Miles, to Uncle Aaron. I gotta do something. I don't know if I can do it, and I'm scared. He's tired of letting everybody down. He figures he's the only one he can talk to. He wishes he was here, and then he hears clattering. Oh, it's the Purple Man! The Purple Man's in the building! He's trying to get out! Oh,
Turns out he's talking to Mr. Fisk.
Oh.
That's the security tapes.
Oh. But he doesn't know that he's face to face with Miles, who's invisible. But then we see the purple man take off his mask and oh!
Prowler is Aaron Davis.
Oh no!
Your Uncle Matt, he's a bad man.
Hey, Susan, what do you have to say about this turn of events?
Tell you what, man, this Prowler man, he's a bad man. Oh, and Aaron Davis, by the way, is voiced by Mahershala Ali, who is known for playing 2 people in the MCU.
Well, no. Not technically 2 people. Because remember, we don't know if Luke Cage is canon in the MCU anymore. Because it's in that whole thing where certain things might be canon now, and some things might not be. It's in that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. gray area, I think.
Well, there you go. The first one is Cornell Cottonmouth Stokes in Luke Cage. And the second one is Eric Brooks in the upcoming Blade feature.
Coming sometime, I think, in 2023. We assume.
We hope.
And Miles like,
is this really happening?
Oh, we got a chase going on here.
It's Prowler versus Spider-Man?
Yeah, I guess. Slow motion.
Meanwhile, Penny is making... What is Penny making? A new goober?
I think a new goober. I love the animation on Penny right here.
They're going for a Sailor Moon vibe, you can tell.
Oh, yeah. She's, like, fixing things. Look at that. She's eating, like, I think chips and stuff while she's fixing the goober. Oh, hey, look! She fixed the goober, but hey, look! We see Spider-Man Noir sitting right here. He's working on a Rubik's Cube.
Spider-Ham is having some tea and...
Oh, yeah. Hey, I think we should mention who voices Spider-Ham.
Oh, yeah. John Mulaney is the voice of Spider-Ham.
Oh, yes. And he is, like, very John Mulaney.
He plays up his John Mulaney-ish.
Oh, yeah. And it's so great. It's just terrific.
Yeah.
By the way, on the billboards in New York City, actually, fun fact, if you pause, one of the billboards has an advertisement for him and Nick Kroll's Broadway show they were doing at the time.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's a fun fact. Okay. So, they're like, well, where's Miles?
Yeah, we all know where Miles is.
Oh, there he
Peter.
is. He's explaining that his uncle's the Prowler and that he works for the Kingpin and he's trying to kill him. And then Spider-Man Noir's like, wow, that's a hardcore origin story. I didn't know that Spider-Man Noir knew the concept of origin stories in his universe.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Somebody's spider sense is tingling. Masks up, people!
Oh, there's Doc Ock.
And she just took the thingy.
Oh.
This is not good. Oh, yeah, by the way, she ends up running in with versions of Tombstone and Scorpion. So it's Doc Ock, Tombstone, and Scorpion. And there's a big fight in Aunt May's. Stan Ninito, dale, prepárate a morir. And meanwhile, Aunt May's house is getting absolutely trashed.
Well, everyone's trying to get the goober. And oh, there's the Prowler. And everyone's fighting and fighting. And Miles like, no. And then the goober lands in his hand, and then the Prowler sees it.
The Prowler just...
Yeah, he sees him. Oh.
Oh no, this is bad. This is really bad.
Scorpion's chasing Spider-Gwen on all the roofs. That's going to be a big insurance problem for these houses. Oh, Jefferson gets a call on his dispatch that there's a disturbance involving multiple
spider people?
People?
And there's Prowler.
He wants that goober.
It looks like he wants Miles, too. But he doesn't know it's Miles.
No.
He's about to find out he's Miles.
Oh, no. Huh? Oh.
And Aaron's like, no. Finish him.
Yeah, Kingpin wants him to kill him.
I'm not going to kill my nephew.
And then gunshot. Oh, no. Kingpin shot Aaron. Oh, no.
And they get away. And Aaron just says, keep going. No, Miles. I'm sorry. I wanted you to look up to me. I let you down. And then Jeff arrives on the scene.
And then, oh, no.
Miles escapes. And
sees Aaron dead on the ground.
All units, I want an APB on a new Spider-Man.
And oh, Miles is back in his room at Visions. Oh, he's all angry. And so Peter, Gwen, and everyone else arrives. They're like, hey, we know how you feel. Peter's like, for me it was my Uncle Ben. Spider-Man Noir's like, for me it was my Uncle Benjamin.
And Penny Parker's like, for me it was my father. And for Gwen it was like, for me it was my best friend.
And then Spider-Pam's like, the hardest part of the job is you can't always save everybody.
He didn't want to talk about his Uncle Frankfurter?
No. It was probably very hard for Spider-Ham. But oh. No, Miles' roommate arrives. Oh. They're all trying to hide.
On the ceiling.
On the ceiling. So no one can see. And then Miles' roommate notices. And then
do animals talk in this dimension? Because I don't want to freak him out.
And then he faints. Oh. Then they all decide to bounce. And Peter's like, I came to say goodbye. But Miles' like, we could say goodbye at the collider. But Peter's like, look, you have to stay here. But Miles' like, I'm the only one that's going to be staying. And he figures if you stay, you're just going to die. So Peter wants to do what needs to be done. And then Miles is like, what about MJ? And then Peter's like, well, not everything works out. And he wants the goober. He figures he's ready, but nope. No, he is not ready to be Spider-Man. Ties him up. When will he know he's ready to be Spider-Man? Well, it's a leap of faith. A leap of faith. Miles is all tied up in the room. And then there's a knock on the door. It's Jeff. And he doesn't know if he's at the room or not, but he wants to talk.
He's basically talking about what happens with Aaron.
Oh.
Saying, sometimes people drift apart. And I don't want that to happen to us. I know I don't always do what you need me to do or say what you need me to say. I see the spark in you. It's amazing. It's why I push you, but it's yours. Whatever you choose to do with it, it'll be great. It's a real tender moment.
Real tender moment. And so Miles is like, oh, that gives him the motivation.
He's doing the shocky thing.
Shocky thing. Oh, zips. Webs all over the apartment. Oh, his roommate woke up. But it's like, oh, Miles is left. Oh, he figures, I'll just go back to bed. No, Miles just turned invisible.
Nope.
He didn't see him. Okay.
Nope.
All right. Goes back into the shed. Aunt May says, took you long enough. And he gets a new suit. And web shooters.
But here's the thing. Technically, it's not a new suit. Well, it's new to him. It's one of Peter's old suits, spray-painted black.
Zipping around Miles all throughout the city. Zip, zip, zip. And then we see, in the pile of the comic books, boom, the Miles Morales Spider-Man. Every comic book that has been thrown on this table throughout the movie. Man, whatever this table is really messy. It's very unorganized, all these comic books.
Yeah, it's like you're just throwing them on. Come on.
You can't throw the comic books on the table. You gotta keep in those protectors, man.
Tidy this up. Come on.
All right, so the other spider people are going to this like event that Fisk.
They're going to Fisk Towers where they're going.
That's where they're going because there's this big event. Oh, in honor of Spider-Man. Yeah, okay, this makes sense. Oh, they were very close.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, my ass, you were very close, Wilson.
What a pig.
And then Spider-Ham says to Gwen, I'm right here. Oh, look at how these waiters are dressed. They're all dressed up in Spider-Man masks. So they figure, okay, let's just go in with Spider-Man masks on.
Except the robot can't get away with it.
The robot can't get away with it. He's under the table with Penny. Okay, and then Peter, he sees Mary Jane like, oh no. Oh no.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. No, don't do it. Don't do it, man.
Gwen's like, no, don't do that. That's not your MJ. You don't want to do that. It's like, I want to do it. No, don't. Okay, move on. It's like, okay, just hold on. And then, oh! He runs into MJ. She wants more bread at table 12. He's like, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm just really sorry. And she's like, oh, it's just bread. No, I wasn't there when you needed me. I didn't even try. She's like, okay, that's fine. I'll go. It's like, I just want another chance to give you, the bread you deserve. Okay. And then Gwen's like, we'll take care of the bread right now. They're not getting any bread.
No, they're not getting any bread.
Rumble.
But we are getting another earthquake.
Another earthquake. Kind of, sort of.
Because Doc Ock is getting ready to fire up the collider.
Oh, everything glitching out.
Oh, and Doc Ock is also in the collider.
So is Scorpion. And then, oh, there's Miles! And oh, he's now doing things on command.
About time.
Oh no.
Uh-oh. He's found the genetic matches to bring Vanessa and Richard into this universe.
Oh, look at that. Spider-Man Noir is fighting with Tombstone. And the best part is he punches him, and then there's like a thing that says...
Applesauce?
Applesauce!
Okay. By the way, Penny Parker, in case you haven't mentioned it, voiced by Kimiko Glenn, known for playing Brooke in Orange is the New Black, and Lena Saberwing in DuckTales.
The 2017 reboot, DuckTales. Obviously, it'd have to be the 2017 reboot, because, duh. Scorpion's beating up Penny Parker's robot, and then Anvil falls on his head for some reason, and then he sees Spider-Ham, he's like, what are you, some kind of cartoon? And Spider-Ham's like, you got a problem with cartoons? Look at that, he got himself like a mallet, I think.
It's a mallet. A cartoon mallet.
A cartoon mallet. Spider-Man Noir throws Scorpion smack right into the robot arm, and then Spider-Ham's like, did that feel like a cartoon? But oh no. Oh, Penny's robot. Oh. I think it's dead. Oh.
Penny's robot's dead.
Oh. Miles saves Gwen, and Gwen likes the suit. Oh, that's nice. Okay. So they're about to fight Doc Ock, and Peter's like, okay, this is going to take a while. And then, boom, truck hits her. It's like, okay, that's done. Okay. I guess we can just go the goober and end this.
All right.
Oh, look, we're back with Penny and the dying robot, and then, oh, sad emojis on the robot face.
Sad emoji.
Miles is going to put the thing into the collider. You got the goober in there. Okay. Oh, look at that. Quantum polarity has been reversed. Pissing off.
Oh, Fisk don't like that.
No. Okay, they're about to leave. You ever spider people. He's got the portal open. Okay. Penny's going to go first. And then we got Spider-Man Noir's like, I love you all. And he says, I'm taking this cube thing with me. And it's the Rubik's Cube he was playing with, and he's like,
I don't understand it, but I will.
And then he leaves. And then, Oh my god, what? Spider-Ham gives Miles his mallet, explaining, oh, it'll fit in your pocket. That's all, folks. Peter said, is he allowed to say that legally? He actually acknowledged.
He actually said that.
He actually acknowledged how awkward this is, that a pig said, that's all, folks.
That's all, folks.
So Miles asks Gwen, do I get to like the hairdo now? And she explains, okay, I'm older than you, but by about 15 months. Tells him, see you around, Spider-Man. And she leaves. And then, okay, it's time for Peter to leave. And then Spider-Sense,
We're not done yet.
oh no. Okay, we gotta push the green button.
I can't let Spider-Man die. Neither can I.
Take the leap of faith. And Peter goes back to his dimension. So now it's just Miles and Kingpin. It's a showdown.
It's a showdown, going down, how you gonna mess around? Showdown, put your nose down, showdown.
You and me, buddy. And it's a bus.
It's a train. Oh, it's a bus. Okay. Well, no, it's a train.
It's both.
It's a bus and a train?
It's a multi-dimensional thing.
Okay. So I guess it's flipping back between bus and train, I guess.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I'm going to kill another Spider-Man. And then, oh no! Look!
It's Vanessa!
And
She's watching him kill Spider-Man!
Again!
Again!
Oh! They're like, what are we doing here? Oh, they're leaving. Oh! Yeah, great job, Kingpin.
Way to break it, villain.
Okay, they're having the fight on top of the train. Oh, look, Jefferson has noticed. He's in this building, Jefferson.
And he's back up.
Miles turns around and sees there's his dad on the building.
Oh, no.
Kingpin's like, the real Spider-Man couldn't even beat me. And he says, you're nothing. And he's like, you took my family. He's going to make sure he never sees his family ever again. Oh.
Ow.
Then Jefferson's urging, Spider-Man, get up. And then Miles hears this. Get up. Come on. And that gives Miles the motivation to fight back. And he says, I'll always have my family. And he says, you ever hear of the shoulder touch? Kingpin's like, what? He gives, hey. And then, zap. Shoo!
And then webs him into the button.
Webs him right into the button.
He even says, hey, Kingpin, push the green button for me.
Zap.
And everything returns to its proper place in time and space.
Yes, the collider's destroyed. Jefferson sees Spider-Man, and then decides to call Miles. And then Miles is answering on the phone. But you see, Jefferson doesn't know that Miles is on top of the building watching him.
Nope.
He knows what happened to Uncle Aaron. And oh. Yeah. What Jefferson said, he was thinking maybe they can find a nice wall. Privately owned. Like at the police station. And throw up some of Miles's art. And then, oh look, Miles decides, okay, I'm going to leave. But, oh, did you notice Jefferson was complaining about his phone carrier? Do you know what his phone carrier is called in this universe?
C-Mobile.
C-Mobile. It's called C-Mobile. That's his cell phone carrier in this universe.
Should have went to BT&T, just saying.
BT&T has all the cheapest cell phone options available.
Yep.
Oh, my God. Okay. But then, hey, guess who just shows up? Spider-Man. Oh, and then Spider-Man's like, hugs Jefferson, and Jefferson's like, okay,
Why
Spider-Man.
is Spider-Man hugging me?
Like, huh? And then Spider-Man's like, I'm looking forward to working with you. And then, oh, look behind you, he says. Oh, there it is.
From your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Yep, Kingpin is tied to the buildings with webs. I'm amazed that those webs could hold him. That is impressive.
He's a big man.
And everyone in the city is like, oh, new Spider-Man. Yeah, you're awesome. Oh, man.
Yeah, I'm the new Spider-Man.
Yeah. Okay, so one last time for real.
For real this time?
Yeah. His name is Miles Morales. He was bitten by a radioactive spider. And for 2 days, he's been the one and only Spider-Man. And we know the rest. He finished his essay. He saved a bunch of people. He got hit by a drone. He did this with his dad. Oh, look at that. He made a montage of Uncle Aaron. Look at that. Uncle Aaron, rest in power. Oh, that's terrific. Oh, he met his roommate finally. And we should assume that if you play the Spider-Man Miles Morales game on PS4, this is Genki Lee.
That's the sticker where my dad's never going to find it.
And then when he's alone, and no one understands what he's going through, oh, he'll always remember his friends who get it. But the best part is they show, oh, Penny's fixing the robot. Look at that. And there's Hortz with a smiley face on the robot. And then we cut to Spider-Man Noir, who's just completed the Rubik's Cube. Look at that.
Now what is he going to do with this time?
I don't know. And then, oh, look at that. There's Spider-Ham at Uncle
Frankfurter's famous New York style hot dogs.
Look, he's so happy he got that hot dog.
Yeah, that's not disturbing at all. But then again, he's a spider who turned into a pig.
Yeah, so it's not cannibalism.
So it's not cannibalism.
And then he'll always remember his friends who get it. And then, oh, Peter zips onto the door. And there's Mary Jane at the door.
Anyone could wear the mask. You could wear the mask. You didn't know that before. I hope you do now.
Because he's Spider-Man. And he's not the only one. And then, oh, look! We see a portal of, like, pink and purple. And then we hear Gwen's voice telling Miles if he's got a minute. And then, that's your movie.
Yep. But that's not all.
Yeah.
Because...
Well, we got this mid-credits thing right here with all the different Spider-Men, which is animated, like, really amazingly. It's like, how would you describe this? It's like multiple spider people.
It's like comic books. It kind of reminds you of What If.
Sort of. Okay, a major senses. Spider-Man Noir showing everybody this cube. Like
at the World's Fair.
At the World's Fair. Oh my god, that's amazing. Okay. But you know what? Oh, this is so great.
Now check this out. Now this was I think this was the last film to feature Stan Lee in a cameo.
Well, no, I think Captain Marvel and Endgame were the last two.
Okay, but this film was like the first film released after Stan's death.
Yes.
And it contains this epitaph. I'm going to go ahead and read it. That person who helps others simply because it should or must be done, and because it is the right thing to do, is indeed, without a doubt, a real superhero. And I guess that's the big lesson that we want you all to take from this podcast. But there is one more thing we should get to before we discuss the sort of legacy of this movie. Meanwhile, in Nueva York...
So, okay, we have this montage of this person who comes in who is late, and we have this hologram thing here explaining to this person what happened during the course of the movie.
That the universe did not collapse.
Yeah, the multiverse didn't collapse. But, okay, but the hologram gives this person a gizmo. And it's just a prototype. And he could be the first person to make an autonomous multiverse jump or the last. And then we see... Oh! Hold up. It's Spider-Man 2099!
Miguel O'Hara.
And the hologram, who by the way is named Lila.
Basically saying, so what do you say, pal? Where do you want to go first? Let's start at the beginning. One last time. Earth 67.
And then, oh no, he arrives in the Spider-Man animated cartoon! And guess what they're doing?
They're pointing at each other!
They're pointing, and both of them are arguing who pointed first.
This is just
absolutely ridiculous. Oh, and that's your movie. But okay, let's explain. Spider-Man 2099, voiced by Oscar Isaac. Well, let's see. He was Apocalypse in X-Men Apocalypse, and now he's going to be playing Moon Knight next year on Disney+. Oh, and he's also Poe Dameron, but it's like, that's like not as impressive as being Moon Knight, I guess.
No. We'll figure that one out when it shows up. So, let's talk legacy here. Into the Spider-Verse ended up grossing $190.2 million in the US and Canada, and $185.3 million overseas, for a total of $375.5 million against a budget of $90 million. So, suffice it to say, it did good. It was good.
It looked good?
It looks good.
Looks good.
Oh, it looks good.
Looks good.
Oh, it looks good.
Looks good.
Oh, it looks good.
And the important part is it won the Academy Award for Best Animated Feature, which is very amazing considering that this was a Sony animated movie. Because normally you get your Disney movies, you get your Pixar movies, you get the occasional DreamWorks animated movie. So for Sony to win Best Animated Feature,
it was absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
And Rotten Tomatoes ended up giving this near perfect score, 97%. But what did people inside the industry think? Tom Holland, who actually plays Peter Parker in the MCU, said it was one of the coolest films he's ever seen. And Chris Pratt, who worked with Lord and Miller on Lego Movie, said it was emotionally moving, cutting-edge, progressive, diverse, funny, meta, action-packed, silly, visually stunning. And Kevin Smith basically said, I always liked Spider-Man, but this movie made me love Spider-Man on a Batman-type level. It just goes to show you that any character in the right hands can be a transformative experience. And as you said, it won Best Animated Feature at the Oscars. It also won Best Animated Feature in the Golden Globes of the Critics' Choice Awards. And it was the first non-Disney or Pixar movie to win Best Animated Feature since Rango.
Wow, Rango! Of all things. Oh my god, Rango.
Yeah, go figure. Now, Sony actually commissioned a sequel at the end of 2018 with Joaquin Dos Santos, Kemp Powers, and Justin K. Thompson, set to direct a screenplay by David Callahan, Phil Lord, and Chris Miller. And the story is actually going to continue Miles Morales' story. And it will also feature Takuya Yamashiro.
Wait
AKA...
a minute. Wait. Are you saying that we're going to have
Spider-Man.
Yes. Japanese Spider-Man.
Oh.
Spider-Man.
And it will also feature a Spider-Woman voiced by Issa Rae. Now, the movie entered production in 2020, and the movie was supposed to be released in 2022, but obviously because of the pandemic, they could choose to delay that movie to October 7th, 2022. Meanwhile, we have a spin-off film called Spider-Women, which features Spider-Gwen, the Jessica Drew Spider-Woman, and Silk, who is actually supposed to be the Penny Parker of this film, but they went with Penny Parker instead of Silk. And we have Lauren Montgomery in initial talks to direct a screenplay by Beck Smith. And there's also talk about a TV show, but there's not really much details about it.
Well, isn't the Sony Spider-Man universe stuff with the TV side, isn't that supposed to be on Prime since Sony reached a deal with Prime for that stuff?
It might be, yes.
Okay, so if it is a TV show, we'll probably see it streaming on Prime, so. Okay, so this film hit 4K, Blu-ray, and DVD on March 19th of 2019. And I will read off the Blu-ray special features here. Okay. We Are Spider-Man, exploring and celebrating one of the key themes of the film. We Are Spider-Man takes a deep dive into the diversity of the characters and aspirational core that any person from any gender or cultural background can wear the mask. And we also have Spider-Verse, A New Dimension, with a stunning visual style and state-of-the-art animation designed to take the viewer into the pages of a comic. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is not only a love letter to comic books, but a groundbreaking take on the superhero genre. Hear from the artists and filmmakers who push the boundaries of the art form as they discuss their journey. The Ultimate Comics cast enjoy a showcase of all the fan-favorite characters featured in Spider-Verse and the cast that was chosen to bring them to life. A tribute to Stan Lee and Steve Ditko, the co-creators of Spider-Man, who, by the way, Steve Ditko also passed away while the film was being made. And it's dedicated to both Stan Lee and Steve Ditko in the credits. The Spider-Verse Super Fan Easter Egg Challenge. The Spider-Verse is loaded with Easter eggs from cameos to comics references. Fans are challenged to find them all. Designing cinematic comics characters, which is a breakdown of all aspects of the character design, including costume, movement, and animation, and distinct powers for each character. You also have a featurette called Heroes and Hams, where you meet the amazing people of the Spider-Verse. Scorpions and Scoundrels exploring the villains in the movie. Alternate universe mode. With this viewing experience, you discover alternate scenes, plotlines, characters, and more with the filmmakers as your guide. 2 lyric music videos, which is Sunflower by Post Malone and Swah Lee, and Familia by Nicki Minaj and Annual AA featuring Bantu. And, oh, I love this, Chico. The original short in this movie, Spider-Ham Caught in a Ham, where it's a normal day for Peter Porker fighting bad guys and loving hot dogs until a portal messes with his reality. Oh, and it's very cute, too. Spider-Ham Caught in a Ham.
And if you buy the Blu-ray DVD at Walmart, it comes with your very own Miles Morales Spider-Man action figure with interchangeable head and arms.
Yeah, I have it right here. Yeah, this is the second of the series of 3 right here with the Venom figure. There it is. Look at that.
Yep.
That retro figure right there. Oh, you put it seamlessly with your Secret Wars figures.
Oh, definitely.
Looked awesome. Okay, so that's Into the Spider-Verse, and, well, we'll have that Spider-Verse sequel coming out next year, hopefully. And I'm sure we're going to have exciting times to come. But next time, oh my God, can you believe this, Chico? We're nearing the end. We're almost at the end.
We have one more film to discuss, and it is the second standalone adventure of Spider-Man in the MCU, where Spider-Man takes a European road trip with his friends and runs into Mysterio.
Wait, they're going to run into Rey Mysterio Jr., Chico?
No.
Oh. I wish they ran into Rey Mysterio Jr. No,
what can I say?
Instead, they're going to run into a guy with a fishbowl head.
Yep. Who looks a lot like Jake Gyllenhaal. That's right. He looks a lot like failed actor Jake Gyllenhaal.
Wait, you mean the Jake Gyllenhaal who played Billy Crystal's son in City Slickers?
Yeah, that guy. So we're going to talk about that, and we hope you'll join us as we make one more deep dive into the Spidey Movieverse. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you then.